ladies, welcome to my channel, Sweet Savant. Please subscribe if you have not already. Let's get into this Midsummer Night's Dream Tablescape Challenge. Special shout out to Kenya's Decor Corner and She Leaves a Little Sparkle for hosting this challenge. I think it was a fantastic idea. I had a lot of fun with it. Let's get into it. Let me show you what I did. Night's Dream is the inspiration for this challenge. I think I read it in high school. I had to cheat and look at the cliff notes and just refreshing. So it's, you know, about like, it's a Shakespeare play, woodland fairies and spells, love spells and all this kind of stuff out in the woods at night. So that's my inspiration. So I wanted to get a really natural feel. So we've got lots of greenery and flowers and woods, and it's all finger foods here, so you can just pick everything up and pop it in your mouth. And I think it's super kind of fun and sexy. I was so excited to participate in this challenge. I think that you're gonna like it. Let me show you exactly what I did, the step-by-step building of this tablescape. So I'm going to build my tablescape on this butcher block style Gate Lake table. I'm going to first layer it with a long black tablecloth to cover up all of this stuff, all the drawers and everything. And then we'll get started building our tablescape. Now, I didn't want to spend a lot of money buying new stuff, so I'm using a black tablecloth that I already had, and I'm going to layer a scarf on top of it. It's a nice big square scarf, mostly purple with some yellow in it, a little black, a little cream, and I thought it'd be perfect to layer some greenery on top of. And so I'm going to use this plastic boxwood mat, and this is something that you can order off of Amazon if you want to give it a try. I'll put a link to that in the description box, but I'm going to use this plastic mat because it's something that we had around the house. Now, I know it's an odd thing to have around the house, but my husband actually used this for a project, and he saved some of the leftover pieces. He and my kids actually used this as the base for my Mother's Day brunch that they made for me. And so I'm stealing their idea a little bit for my Midsummer Night's Dream tablescape. And I prefer to use this plastic mat in this project because if you were to use some type of natural grass type of thing, then you've got to deal with dirt and maybe even bugs. And I don't think you want that. Now, something like this boxwood, plastic boxwood, might be a little much for some people. So if you don't want to take that route, you can always find some fabric, something maybe like that, that's got a little texture to it that adds some interest. And you would just layer that right on top of your tablecloth of your other fabric. And you know, something like this, I don't even bother to trim the edges. I think it's kind of fun to leave the frayed edges dangling. I think it's really a little bit more interesting to do it that way. Now, on top of that greenery, I'm going to use this oversized cutting board, and that's going to be the base upon which we layer the different foods and other serving pieces. I got this from West Elm a couple of years ago, and I absolutely love this piece. To go along with the woodsy Midsummer Night's Dream theme, I'm going to use some of these pretty natural looking slices of wood. I'm going to layer those on top of each other. Oh, yep, I think that's going to do. That's pretty. Ooh. Feels like we're out in the park right now. I love it. And using the cutting board gives you a nice stable base to build upon, because if I tried to put this in the boxwood here, well, that's not going to work. So I'm going to use these crystal candle holders, candlesticks, but not for candles. More about that later. Now you can start layering serving pieces on top of serving pieces like this. Oop, that was loud. Pewter footed tray with a pretty cloche on it. I think that's what you call it, a cloche. Little cover. And then I would add, maybe a little further down, this black cake stand for even more interest. Maybe I'll put that here on the other side and move these around. I like it. Right, so here's what the table looks like so far. We have our black tablecloth layered with this sort of multicolored, mostly purplish scarf. The green boxwood hedge overlay. And I'll put a link to this. You can find it on Amazon if you're interested. These wooden slices, I believe I got these from Michael's. I don't remember where I got this from. The long 4-foot cutting board, maybe 3 feet, from West Elm. My wooden candlesticks that came from, I think that was a Swanee Wine Festival. Crystal candlesticks, those came from Goodwill. I don't know where this black cake stand came from. I can't remember at all. Then I have an ice bucket in here, and I wrapped it with that green fabric because you need something to chill the wine in, but I wasn't really crazy about having the large, just acrylic ice bucket out, so we disguised it a little bit with the fabric. So that's where we are right now. I'll probably add some more candles, little votives, but now I'm going to run out and get some snacks to place on our cutting boards, and because you can't have a party without food, and why on earth would you do all this and not put some delicious foods on it? And I'm also going to get some fresh flowers, because how can you have a Midsummer's Night's Dream without some pretty flowers? So I'll be back in a minute and we'll keep going with our tablescape. Okay, I'm back from the store and I've gotten more progress made on our tablescape. Oh, I think it looks so pretty. I picked up 2 bunches of flowers, one hydrangea, and it had 3 stems in it, and I used each one separately. And look, I just cut it real low and put it in, this is like one of those little tiny mason jar things, and then just popped it right in there. That's the taller one. You can see there, I just nestled it right down. Ooh, I think it's so pretty. And then the roses. So the roses, they were on clearance. So I got this dozen roses for only $5. $5. Look at that. They're a little, you know, older. So they are opening up a little bit, but I like that look. I actually even went in and pulled the petals down a little bit more so that it would be really open. I think that's really pretty. And then for some, I just broke the petals off and scattered some petals around. Put a bunch up there. I think that's really pretty. Remember those candlesticks I told you about? I put one of the little roses in there with a little water. These are some ferns that I already had in my garden, so I just plucked those off. I think those look good. I'm so happy with the way this is looking. Now it's time to put a little food out there. Oh, what y'all think so far? All right, leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite flower is, what flower you would add to this tablescape. First, let's talk about our cocktail. We did a little blush sangria with a pink Pinot Grigio, and I put some fresh peaches, there's a little watermelon, some strawberries, and mint. And I put a little bit of triple sec in there just to add some interest, a little bit of orange flavor in that. Now you can make a mocktail. You don't have to have alcohol. You can use fresh juices and load it with fruit and mint, and it will be just as pretty. I like to skewer some of the fruit, so that way you have something to use to eat the fruit out of the cocktail with. Well, what do you think? I have completed my tablescape. loaded it with cheese. We got a little Asiago, some salami, a little glacé figs. Now these candied figs, my mom makes these. Oh my goodness, she grows her own figs and then makes her own candied figs. You can use a fig preserve if you like. Serve it with a little cheese, and I like to serve it on some cinnamon bread. Lots of fruit, some brie, lovely cherries in season right now. Some more salamis, a little prosciutto. Gotta have a little crudité. We made a dressing with some Greek yogurt, lemon, dill, salt, pepper, and a little garlic. And I think that looks very tasty. My tablescape is done. Can't forget the cocktails. And, of course, we've got a little bit of sparkling wine back there in case of emergency. What do you think, folks? Did I do this Midsummer Night's Dream tablescape justice? Let me know in your comments, and I would love to hear what you think. Thank you so much for joining me. This was a lot of fun, and please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it if you did, and then you can come back and see more fun stuff like this. Y'all have a delicious day.